What you're about to see would normally be satire, but unfortunately it's true. As Donald J. Trump pulls back the curtain, what you see behind it is as unbelievable as the story I'm about to cover for you. Now, many things in DC are occurring all simultaneously. You know I work hard here to provide you all the major headlines on top of the major stories, but sometimes the combination of the overall stories just equals something that's absolutely, as much as we should have known it, unbelievable. And that's the story I'm going to bring you here in just 1 minute. All right, let's dive in. I know many of you asking what's going to happen with Kari Lake. Well, now we know. Donald J. Trump making the announcement that Kari Lake will serve as the next director of Voice of America. Some people know what Voice of America is. Some don't. Obviously, with their broadcasting history, that's a very good choice, although I'm sure many will be disappointed. It wasn't something different. Voice of America is a government-funded broadcasting network. The Voice of America is a dynamic international multimedia broadcaster with service in nearly 50 languages. So she is there to help push the America First message. Kari Lake responds, I am honored that President Trump has asked me to lead Voice of America, a vital international media outlet dedicated to advancing the interests of the United States by engaging directly with people across the globe and promoting democracy and truth. Now, again, I know many of you will be disappointed. In some ways I am also, but I understand the selection. I always am a high believer in the right people, in the right seats, on the bus, and then everything functions better. In this case, he took her skill set and applied it perfectly. Now, some things are perfect, some things are motivational, some things are just hilarious. Normally, again, this would be satire, but it was true. Joe Biden wearing the GOP shade of red to cast her vote. You remember when that happened? You remember this horribly uncomfortable moment of two enemies, no matter what you want to call it. They don't appear to have ever been friends, not since Kamala first attacked Jill's husband on the debate stage. But now Jill, in another moment, appears to take another parting jab at Kamala.
So I hope that you all feel that sense of, peace and light, and that just for a moment when you leave here today that you feel, a sense of joy. Because I think we all need we all need to feel joy now during this time of the season, during this time. So anyway, okay, now I'll start. You're all reading into that.
No, Jill, nobody's reading into it. We know exactly what you intended on doing there. A direct shot at Kamala's happy, happy, joy, joy campaign. Didn't you do it? You can't let it go. You are not going to let the feud go. It should be satire, but it is not. But a lot of things should be satire. The seated president talking about his head being open 2 times should be satire, but again, it's not.
For a moment, I have been the beneficiary of a lot of the research been done. I had 2 cranial aneurysms, 2 9-hour operations, took the top of my head off twice, couldn't find the brain the first time.
Yeah, that was Joe Biden. That's his message to America. It's not the first time he stated it.
And I had these terrible headaches, was diagnosed with having anyway, they had to take the top of my head off a couple times, see if I had a brain.
Sometimes there's just nothing to say. Just like Caitlin Clark destroying her career, in many's opinion now. Lisa covered this yesterday. Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. In the WNBA, that you had to work your way up for, that you've taken multiple elbows, hits, throws to the ground. There's privilege. It should be satire, but it's not. Megyn Kelly coming out, having a statement on it. Look at this. She's on the knee, all but apologizing for being white and getting attention. The self-flagellation flagellation. I'm just teasing, of course. The oh, please pay attention to the black players who are really the ones you want to celebrate. Condescending, fake, transparent, and sad. But that's the world we live in, isn't it? But it goes on. It's not over yet. Trudeau, Mr. Satire himself, has a message back to Trump.
Now, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
So much to say, so little time. I just put it in the comments, please. Fill it in, because if I go any further, I'm going to get in trouble. So I'm just going to let it go. But that was his response to Trump, the Trump who said that, he should just become another state. I guess Trudeau doesn't believe in that. Trudeau just simply believes in a much larger order that should be established throughout the world that did not occur because we did not elect Kamala. Thank you. More validation as to why we shouldn't have elected Kamala. More validation as to why Trump is so integral to this overall order that's trying to be reestablished. And Trump is reestablishing order. Right now, for all intents and purposes, he is the seated president because the world is responding no matter what clip or photos I can show you of Trudeau, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to stoop to that level. Not going to do it. Want to really bad, but I'm not going to do it. There's just going to remain quiet, but I'm not going to remain quiet about needing your help. And I need your help today. First, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Second, your comments are always appreciated. Third, for all of those that support me on the membership platform here, thank you. It's truly the only way that this news is brought to you. As you've noticed, I don't use advertisers. Yes, YouTube puts in commercials. That's not my advertisers. But nonetheless, I chose to do that on purpose because I didn't want anyone steering my message or controlling it. And we did the same thing at Restricted Republic. Lisa Haven and I sat down one day and said, we're done. We wanted to create our own platform. A platform that we said no advertisers, and we don't have any advertisers. It's all videos, no commercials, no interruptions, information like you've never seen it before. All the headlines you need in one place. All your notifications could go down tomorrow because we'll make sure we provide it to you, everything that's important. Right now, go ahead and use Christmas 24. Get you $3.99 a month for 12 months plus 14 days for free. It's my means of getting your support, but giving you more work in return. And I truly need your support because it's the only way to continue this message moving forward. And I'd love you there today. Also, there's gift cards up there if you want to share the news with your family and your friends and make sure they actually get the news in the format they deserve. Reference and research at all times. RestrictedRepublic.com. Get there today, please. But now let's get back to the story. And Trump's announcement of the resignation of Chris Wray, at least his response to it, is a great day for America, he states, as it will end the weaponization of what has become known as the United States Department of Justice. I don't know what happened to him. We will now restore the rule of law for all Americans. Under the leadership of Chris Wray, the FBI illegally raided my home without cause, worked diligently on illegally impeaching and indicting me, has now done everything else to interfere with the success and future of America. They have used their vast powers to threaten and destroy many innocent Americans, some of which will never be able to recover from what has been done to them, and that is the God's honest truth. It's horrible what they've done. Kash Patel is the most qualified nominee to lead the FBI in the agency's history, and is committed to helping ensure the law, order, and justice will be brought back to our country again and soon. And as everyone knows, I have great respect for the rank and file of the FBI, and they have great respect for me. Everybody wants to see changes, he goes on, and we want to see changes. You want to see changes, but we told you Chris Wray would never be around to allow Trump to fire him. But now a whole different story. One I didn't expect to cover on the United States Postal Service, but it exemplifies the Biden administration. Just another bankrupt waste of time. Just another bankrupt, misrun organization under the Biden administration. As the curtain gets pulled back, we're going to start seeing all of it come out in the wash now. You see, because behind that curtain, they'd love to call it satire, but it's the truth that the U.S. government has been malfunctioning for years. The truth that your tax dollars has been going towards bankrupt departments and divisions. And the U.S. Postal Service and their response goes to tell you everything. I'm going to start with Josh Hawley, but what we end with is, again, absolutely should be satire. But it's reality. And my friends, it's an absolute joke, but it's no laughing matter because your tax dollars went right down the toilet. And those in rural America couldn't even get their darn mail in time. No laughing matter.
Well, I want you to know, and I want you to expect that I hate this plan, and I'm going to do everything I can to kill it. I'm going to try to protect every delivery to the state of Missouri, to my rural areas, and I just want you to know, so that we're on the same page, I want you to know I'm going to go to the mat on this, and I'm going to work with everybody I can across this dais to protect delivery to rural America. And if I have to go down with the ship, I'll go down with the ship, but I'm going to do everything I can to kill it.
Yeah, you won't go down with the ship. If you're successful, the Postal Service will go down.
No, if I'm successful, rural America will get its mail delivered on time, which it's currently not, and urban areas will get their mail delivered on time, which is currently not. And we just, who's paying for it? The taxpayers who've been paying for it all along.
Hey.
Oh, he has every right to be upset. Because if you go through these clips, you see mail undeliverable, leave it behind. Did I say Mr. DeJoy? Louis DeJoy. Clip after clip, photo after photo. Instruct to not deliver 1,100 flats of mail. They show pictures coming out at the end of how much mail's just lying around. And this is Des Plaines, Illinois. This isn't even a rural area. This is our Postal Service. But when put under fire, under direct questioning of Representative McCormick, watch the reaction and you will understand that this curtain is now completely drawn open and we have been living in a world of living satire and paying every penny for it.
You were graded by the United States people, and they don't use your service anymore. You bankrupt.
That is not true.
You
That is
bankrupt
not
this
true,
through
sir.
your
My
reputation
business is
only.
growing.
Through your
Our
reputation,
business is growing.
you are responsible for the fall of the Postal Service
No,
and the
this
lack of
Congress,
accountability.
This Congress is responsible for
doesn't-
all of the Postal
oh, so it's
Service.
Congress's-
I am trying to fix
On your
the Postal
watch,
Service.
with all the AI.
Before my watch, the same stuff
With
happened.
all
worse.
the AI, with all the computer systems, you're worse than if I took
You're
a
talking
horse
to yourself
and picked
now.
up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road. That's
Nope. Not making that up, and I'm not going to let the image go. No way in heck could you let this image go. This is what they think of us. Say something we don't like, and we're just simply not going to listen. We're going to cover our ears like a child. I was dumbfounded watching this on C-SPAN. Dumbfounded. The same Postal Service just reported a $9.5 billion loss. Pentagon losing money. The curtain's back, and welcome to the clown show. This is the Biden administration. This is the officials who we elected to represent us. Ones that probably shouldn't even be in office anymore. They're hurting themselves. Time and time again, we watch Mitch McConnell freeze up. Now he falls again, bandaged, bruised, battered, and then you have to watch this, and it is absolutely, I don't like Mitch McConnell. I don't like the man, never have. When you watch this, who in their right mind would allow him to continue their hurting the man? It's time to step down, but it is so exemplified. It so exemplifies the state of this government. But here, oh wait, maybe we'll be saved by Karine Jean-Pierre, the ultimate satirical representation of a White House press secretary, in my humble opinion. Listen to what she has to say here.
The United States and G7 are now making good on that commitment. Together, we will leverage income earned from frozen Russian sovereign assets to provide a total of $50 billion of extraordinary revenue acceleration, ERA loans.
Another $50 billion to Ukraine through Russian seized assets to Zelensky, who just refused to comply with Biden's request to lower the conscription age, not easy for me to say today, down to 18. But to make matters worse, here's Zelensky, here's $50 billion. We're supporting you. We know you support us. Except I told Zelensky in his response, 50 billion more, 50 billion more, 50 billion more. Your tax dollars, my tax dollars, might as well just throw it in the fireplace. I told President Trump that Putin fears only him. Talk about thumbing your nose at the administration who's still doling out cash to you like it's nothing off of Russian seized assets. So in other words, Biden, there's nothing you can do to help me. I'm not lowering my age down. And Trump's the only one who could fix this because he's the only one that Moscow respects. Moscow had a statement on these seized assets, calling it theft. Biden's doing everything he can to try to get us into a major battle, a major war. Thankfully, however, we passed a new budget. Some of the budget good, some of the budget bad. I think the Republicans capitulated too much in this one. The House has approved 2025 NDAA, a major defense policy bill. The vote came after a dust-up over a transgender treatment provision added in by Speaker Mike Johnson and opposed by Democrats. The bill now goes to the Senate. $895 billion defense bill. Actually, let's read a little bit of it. Not too much. I won't waste too much of your time. The new version includes increased funding to bolster U.S. forces in the Indo-Pacific region with $15.6 billion. They are worried about China. Many provisions within this bill to defend ourselves against China. $5.7 billion higher than the Department of Defense requested, because we just have that deep of pockets. Numerous measures bar the DoD from buying certain equipment or contracting for specific services from China. Gosh, I remember that way back when. I guess that's now suddenly become appropriate again. Of course, when Trump's coming into the White House, they know exactly what they need to do because he's calling the shots. A new submarine, a few new ships, a pay raise for our troops, which is much deserved, 4.5% pay raise for all U.S. troops across the board with enlisted ranks E4 and below to receive a 14.5% pay boost. And they deserve every penny of it. So as the Epoch Times calls it, culture war riders. This is where everything went into turmoil. It was over the DEI and transgender positions within the bill. The version that the House passed in June is not the version they passed now. The compromised NDAA version maintains that DEI hiring freeze, maintains it, but drops the House provision to outright eliminate DEI programs and positions. Other measures in the House version of the bill stripped funds from abortion-related travel, barred funding for the teaching of gender ideology in DoD-funded schools, and barred defense spending on gender transition services. That stood, but the DEI hiring freeze was a bit watered down. The compromise bill does bar the DoD healthcare program, TRICARE, from covering gender transition treatments for children under the age of 18. Finally, I support that provision, although the bill is still watered down. The Democrats had a response. Of course they did. House Armed Service Democrats were successful in blocking provisions that attacked DEI programs, the LGBTQ community, and women's access to reproductive health care. Also blocked were provisions that would have restricted support to Ukraine, prohibited DoD from supporting Palestinian refugees or the people of Gaza, further militarizing our southern border and lifting all restrictions on the controversial 1033 program, which provides excess military equipment to law enforcement agencies. However, the final text included a provision that would prohibit medical intervention, which could result in sterilization for military dependents under the age of 18 who are diagnosed with gender dysphoria. I know, this is right now what we're focused on. We have drones flying over the U.S. the size of SUVs, allegedly, seeming no ability to shut them down or no desire to shut them down. I can't be sure yet. Balloons that have floated over the United States with very little intervention until, thankfully, a photographer took a picture of one and then we did something about it. An Indo-Pacific disaster, a looming conflict with Russia, Syria falling and the leadership of us being again the terrorist state. But we're focused on this. And it's not satire, no, it's reality. This is reality too. Still dumbfounded by this. It's really what tripped off the entire thought process behind this video. Allah Akbar replaces Cheerio Mate as most popular UK greeting. Now that's satire by the Babylon Bee, who everybody knows is a satirical publication. Well, it appears that almost everyone knows, except for Reuters. Fact checkers reached out for comment on that post, and here's what they had to say. I'm contacting you from the fact-checking desk at Reuters. We investigate false and misleading claims spread on social media. Our fact checks can help curb the circulation of misinformation. We currently looked into a claim that sharing a Babylon Bee article saying Al Akbar was officially replaced Cheerio Mate is the most popular greeting in the UK. I've pasted it below for your convenience because you may not know what you published. We plan to write a fact check to set the record straight. It's clearly a satirical article, but I am reaching out to you if you wish to challenge this or comment in the fact check article. Please get in touch. Now just think about the thought process behind that. On one token, you're admitting that it's satire, but on the other token, you're fact checking it. I'm just looking for any reality that remains in the room. We know it's satire, but we're going to dishonestly act like it's not, so that we can virtue signal a little bit more. It's clearly satirical, but we have to check authenticity. That's more unwell than Orwell, but still an absurd reach out. But it's not the first time this is happening. This is all just a portion of the curtain being pulled back, and now you see the reality of what's been behind it this entire time. Trump's election, his victory, allowed this curtain and people to be comfortable pulling it back so that everyone can see the carnival mechanism behind the curtain that's been running us the entire time. And the only reason it appeared to be functional was the fact that they simply suppressed anybody who wanted to speak against it or call it out. And you saw that through the multiple broadcasts we've done over the last week, showing that this curtain is going to continue to be pulled back. We work hard to do that. And if you don't believe me, just ask Elon Musk. Because CNN fact-checked it, Reuters fact-checked them. CNN headline about Musk melting down the Statue of Liberty is fake. I shouldn't be speechless, but at times I am. Elon Musk, of course, poking the bear a bit. No, I definitely melted it down 1,000%. That's the reality of the mainstream media. It's why we work so hard to remain days, if not weeks, if not months, in front of the headlines, because even Fox News. Chicago residents slammed the stupidity of Mayor Brandon Johnson's liberal policies during city council meeting published on December 11th. The same broadcast I showed you, and I'll try to lower the volume quickly here so it doesn't interrupt you.
You will not allow Trump illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in a billion.
You remember that, right? How long ago did we cover that? And then we covered the subsequent Tom Homan meeting in Chicago. And now he's meeting with people, even though Pritzker said he shouldn't. But that's how far in front of things we try to stay for you, so that you can tell your friends, your family, the real truth, the real reality about the satire that is our everyday life. My friends, it was nice to give you a little bit more lighthearted of a view of things today, and I appreciate all your support. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.